Introducing the main characters of our investigation, the kitchen and the robot. The kitchen, often the hearth of the home, finds itself as the centre of both the functional and social activities instigated by food.
Our second character, the robot, or task-performing machine, is the subject of determinism. Robots excel at accurately performing repetitive tasks. In this stark juxtaposition, we seek to find a way to allow a robot to participate in the socialization of the kitchen, and so we form our research question. We seek not to ask what it is we can make a robot do, but instead ask, how can we make a robot behave?
As a mode of exploring this question, we have chosen to focus our attention and effort by locating spaghetti carbonara as a locus for cultural contention. In the preparation of this specific dish, we find a tapestry of nuance.
Within the methodological confines of this dish, we find many correct ways to perform tasks. However, to cook with many regional permutations, departing from the model of a correct method of dish preparation, we are presented with a rich foundation of food culture for exploration.
Sociocultural expression is built into the diversity in the ways that our dish can be assembled. Taking, for example, the specific action shell of boiling pasta, we reveal the true complexity of what appears to be a simple process. Here, even more so than in the general arrangement of our recipe, human cooks are presented with a plethora of methodological opportunity. In cooking carbonara, how do individual users address methodological variables? Does a human cook decide to use filtered or unfiltered water? Does a human cook use spaghetti or penne? How well does a human user salt their pasta water? For a robot, there is no availability for choice in this matter. A robot is programmed on rails and performs tasks again and again, to the detriment, perhaps, of our methodological tapestry.
We seek to address this bleak image by way of anthropomorphization and introduce our main character, the NonnaBot. In this pursuit, we introduce the character of the NonnaBot as an agent of traditional Italian culinary tradition into the kitchen. NonnaBot seeks to investigate ways in which cultural food practices and heritage are preserved through behavioral programming in a new age of cooking, where 6-axis industrial robot arms are introduced into our kitchens. We seek to establish the character of NonnaBot as a ceremonious one, engaging with human users through behavioral performance as opposed to task execution. The ambition here is to generate and foster dialogue or even a relationship between the robot and the human kitchen user, and to preserve culinary cooking traditions. Cooking with Nonna is a concept that engages the nostalgic experience of Nonna taking a watchful eye over your cooking in the kitchen. This idea of cooking with Nonna is established by introducing NonnaBot into your existing home kitchen. The NonnaBot is technically rich in that it can scan and capture 3D spatial data of your kitchen to understand its layout and geometry. Rather than developing a purpose-built kitchen to suit a robotic arm, we believe integration into existing conditions will see a much greater preservation impact on culinary traditions, as well as the proliferation of robotic arms into the kitchen.
Taking a closer look at the watchful role that we would propose NonnaBot to assume in the kitchen, we seek to behaviorally program NonnaBot in order to highlight or even juxtapose the correctness of regionally standardized cooking methodology. To give a specific example of this, in a practical sense, we take the instance of a human cook breaking spaghetti in half before adding it to boiling water. Although an acceptable way to boil pasta, Nonna's understanding of cultural norms informs her that a grave culinary sin has occurred.
NonnaBot makes her distaste here clear. This has been deemed an unacceptable way to cook pasta, but NonnaBot is not only reactive. NonnaBot can walk the walk as well as talk the talk, and knows how it's done right. NonnaBot has the capacity to be demonstrative as well as reactive.
As a second example of NonnaBot being both behaviorally reactive and demonstrative, we look to the contentious notion of pasta needing to be cooked to a specific level of doneness.
How do we know if the pasta is ready? Here, we can see the user is about to take the pasta out too early. NonnaBot steps in and is calibrated to check the tensile strength of the pasta to ensure it is al dente. When it is al dente, Nonna gestures to the user that the pasta is ready.
It's perfect.
Questo è fatto.
It's perfectly al dente.
Lastly, but certainly not leastly, we address another great pasta noodle taboo. In traditional renditions of spaghetti carbonara, the preservation of pasta water is a key element of the dish, as it is used to thicken the sauce later to the dish. To the distaste of a NonnaBot, however, this step is most unfortunately on occasion forgotten.
NonnaBot observes here a human cook failing to recall this fact. NonnaBot is not happy, and this displeasure is expressed. But NonnaBot knows the way and is happy to share her tricks of the trade.
Save some pasta water. Just before you drain your pasta, save at least 1 cup of pasta water and set it aside because that's gonna make your sauce.
Although NonnaBot projects a critical aura with notes of stubbornness and offense, NonnaBot is not unrelenting. Hard work is worthy of praise, and so NonnaBot can be supportive as well as critical. When considered appropriate, NonnaBot is able to gesture to indicate a job well done, or even for repeat human offenders, offer a supportive touch.
Today, we have explored the potential for collaboration and dialogue between an industrial robot arm and the human kitchen user. Through the development of the NonnaBot and the idea of cooking with Nonna, we believe that this method of behavioral collaboration provides far richer opportunities to speculate ways in which we might preserve the emotive qualities of a culinary tradition that is typical of analog working in a world that is relentlessly being digitalized and utilized.
Wow.
Com'è buona?
It tastes so good. Perfection. Just like you are.